Hi, everyone, and welcome to Ouroboros Out Loud, a tale that never ends, from a narrator that never dies. Follow our storyteller, the last, as they journey through the Ouroboros itself to undo the end of the world, soothing it with stories from the now dead universe. Ouroboros Out Loud is produced and distributed by Chapman University's Ouroboros magazine, and frames student submissions at the heart of its story. Each episode shows the last reading new submissions from the magazine's history to the Ouroboros, until they're able to begin the cycle of stories anew. If you would like your story to help save time itself, consider submitting to our fall and spring semester issues, or our Halloween zine. Your submission may just convince the Ouroboros to begin the cycle anew. Without further ado, this is episode 3, The Tale.
You seem to have calmed down, my friend. That storm which has wreaked havoc upon your mind has finally subsided. Shall we resume this delicate cycle in which we reside? Indeed, I too have grown tired in my old age. But our work here is necessary. For a new story to begin, the previous must come to an end. This world has run its course, a mighty stone worn away by the rolling break of time. You and I are all that remain among the bones of lost things. I would be lying if I said that I did not grow sentimental in the face of such great change. Long have I wandered in the hopes that some distant melody would beckon me to one last tale to add to my collection. But alas, that time has long since passed. Is that sadness I sense in you? Has the mighty serpent of life and death grown a taste for melancholy? I didn't think you were the type to envy those so tethered to finality. Here, shall I present you another tale to soothe your ailment? We must ensure that your tail remains locked between your jaws. We do not want the very guts of existence to come spilling out from your heart. I believe I have a story which will remedy this feeling somewhere. I remember this one. Listen close, old friend. La Rosa. La Rosa burns in the late June heat, a scorching kiln made to mold and shape those within. It melts like burning wax in the thick humidity, its high porticos hardly a haven for its inhabitants. And when it rains, it's cool and sticky, like sweat from the sky, and it clings to skin, to hair. It marks the terracotta red of the city's towers and facilities and streets and markets, like blood-soaked earth. La Rosa drinks up the rain until it can't drink anymore. It drinks until people pant as they walk across it to work, to the cinema, to the bar. It drinks and drinks until the blood runs into the streets, until everything smells like wet cigarette smoke and dirt. Musty and smoky and dirty. Alive. And the people drink in La Rosa until they can't drink anymore. They sip on its bittersweet orange liquor buildings, suckle at its meaty brick path. They slurp the soupy summer rain, leaching it every ancient crack and crevice, every bit they can sink their teeth into until they're full of life, of La Rosa. They feast until they leak the very same terracotta red, orange, amber brown from their eyes and ears and nose and mouth, until they are stumbling through the streets, drunk on La Rosa, on its gooey summer and ancient history and ash. The cicadas and swallows drink La Rosa too, feeding on its knowledge and hopes, all stored in every brick, every portico, every tree. They too drink until their chirping mixes and blurs in a sweet, intoxicating mess of whirring and buzzing, the mechanics of a well-oiled machine. They too live on La Rosa, as the people. Swallows cut through its humid air like daggers, feed its buildings like maggots. Cicadas sing their summer siren song. Endless clicking floods La Rosa's insides. And La Rosa loses its people and swallows and cicadas and play until the sky drinks it all up and spits it back out, eaten all over again. And La Rosa has a secret written on the wind, etched into stone and clay and bones and blood. A secret written in a language only La Rosa and its inhabitants can understand. La Rosa is full of magic, neither ancient nor modern. Its magic is its blood, seeping into the foundation of its buildings, into the intestines and bones of its dwellings. Magic is grown from La Rosa's clay, from its sky, residing in every microscopic cell, every terracotta tendon. Magic makes La Rosa immortal. Immortal in its endless cycle of devouring, oozing, bleeding, burning. La Rosa burns. Did that help? I often find stories to be a soothing agent in times of uncertainty. I too find myself growing weary after so many cycles. Why, I've long since lost count of our innumerable revolutions. Recently, I question whether there truly was anything before our song and dance. My memory has begun to fade into vague impressions, moments scattered across billions of lifetimes. I'm sure that your memory serves you better than mine at this point. That you've been able to recall each infinitesimal moment that has passed since your inception. I'm almost grateful to be cursed with my mind's enfeeblement. Perhaps the ability to forget is what allows us to persist so. To be so ignorant of the melody of our existence that each revolution feels like something new. I sometimes wonder if death is a freedom denied to beings like ourselves. That perhaps death has never been an end, but merely a moment's rest. Although I must admit, my friend, the mighty cliff face that is the end of your colossal tale seems to drift off into a dark abyss rather than a bright horizon. Such is the way of things when you dwell upon the enigmatic. Do you sense it? My apprehension? I know that this is a vital step for the rejuvenation of existence, and yet, no matter how many times I take it, I am beside myself with fear. My legs lock, throat tightens, and the beating of my heart begins to crescendo. You still scare me, old friend. Or rather, your power does. The inextricable thread you sew through all things is one colored with the dread of my once mortal way of thinking. I am reminded of that fact every time I gaze into the black abyss of your maw. It is in times of uncertainty that I find stories to be a soothing agent. Perhaps we can both benefit from a tale of uncertainty. Let me see what I can find. Yes, this one should do. Listen closely. Swimming finally. I think I will go for a swim today. The swim. My final swim. I am not coming back, see. I shall swim out, and I shall never come back. It seems like a good day for such a thing. Oh no, this isn't a whim. Only a distressingly unwell person would take their final swim on a whim. Oh, no, I've been planning this for months, dear reader. You've no idea what goes into a final swim, have you? Well, you must choose your starting point in place and time. Whence will you depart this earth and submit yourself to the sea? At what time will you dive into her depths? Do you prefer to go while there are people about, enjoying a day at the beach, to feel human connection one last time? Perhaps you would like to leave at the sun's peak, so you may see the way light swims beneath the water's surface, the way it illuminates clouds of sands and clumps of seaweed and the scales of darting fish. Or maybe you would like to leave at night, when the moon's light doesn't penetrate the waves but merely glances off of them, when the more daring creatures come to life and are wont to be the only witnesses to the strange activities that occur within the sea at this hour, namely, your final swim. You must also decide what you wish to take with you. Ideally, your chosen items will be resistant to the damage the sea unintentionally causes with her salts and her unsteadying waves and her enveloping waters. That is, unless you in fact wish to donate something to the sea, a photograph perhaps, a cherished letter, which you are more than welcome to do. Otherwise, I recommend items like jewelry, which will be strained under her salts but can otherwise withstand her forces. Maybe you ought to bring an item of clothing or a family heirloom, or a birthstone to remind the sea from when you come, so that she may marvel at your newness, and you at her breadth. For birthstones are but an invention of mankind, and mankind has hardly set its foot upon this earth. The sea is very generous with these things, yes, for being so beautiful and bounteous. She still has the wherewithal to recognize you and me, and to say, "Well, aren't you new to this earth? How wonderful. I am old, very old, but I think you and I shall get along rather well, don't you? So please, come, do not be afraid, for I will be with you during your final swim." I am aware that the sea does not have much choice about accompanying those who dive into her depths. It is impossible to abandon those whom you surround. But is it not glorious that she, who devotes her attentions to her fishes, her storms, her waves, her reefs, her beaches, she devotes even a morsel of attention to the likes of you and me? Oh, how lucky we are! The final consideration you must make before your final swim, and I dare say it is the most important, is why you are swimming finally, never to return. Has your work been completed on this earth? Are you old, sick, in pain? Can you go on no longer? Are you sure that is so? Then by all means take your final swim. It awaits you eagerly. She awaits you. You may wonder if you can take your final swim alongside one you hold dear, your spouse, your friend, your mother, or father, your dog. Unfortunately, you may not. For that, I do apologize. You must take your final swim alone, for we are always alone when we depart our earth, are we not? Please do not fret, however, and certainly do not let this deter you from taking your final swim. Goodness, no. Surely, you must know that all swims' destinations exist in unison in time and space, where such concepts as time and space cease to exist at all, rendering this sphere quite meaningless. And what of those who are not ready for their final swim, but have heard the sea calling to them? What of those who have taken the call but were not ready? You ask, you demand. You've every right to demand answers to such questions. But I am afraid my reply can only be of the limited sort mankind can provide, until we are able to talk and understand more fully at our destination in wherever and whenever. The sea, when I commanded such enlightenment from her, replied just this: "Oh, my dear, unplanned swims are never my intention. You must surely know that. I am not powerful enough to stop death, to forewarn of him, to slow him. Death is more powerful than I, even with my greatness, for I am but an earthly thing in the end. And how can an earthly thing like you or me influence a force so great and terrible as death? I guide souls along the final swim, whether they have met death before coming to my water's edge, or are meeting him somewhere along my depths. That is all I may do. God, do you see it? Do you see her grace, her goodness? Oh, how I long to return to her. How eager I am to dissolve into her waves. It is time. I have chosen to depart from this white sand beach, as if fashioned from powder in the softness and fullness of night. I have brought my wedding ring, a photograph of my child. The sea has already met her. She has become acquainted with the roundness of my child's face, the curve of her smile, the ring of her laugh, all of which I anxiously await. I know it is time for my final swim, dear reader, for I am old and I ought to allow another soul to flourish on this earth in my place. I fear I may leave you soon, as death is near, and while he is patient, as said by the sea, neither she nor I can stave him off for long. But that is all right, as he is full of warmth. He is the key to my destination. The sea's waters are cool tonight. The moon shines brightly on the centerpiece of the dotted sky above. The sea, shush, shush, shushes me, asking my mind to clear so that I may enjoy my journey and say a proper goodbye to Earth. Goodbye, dear Earth. I thank you for all you have provided, for giving mankind the sea for those with whom I shall reunite at my destination. I wade in. I start to swim. I paddle out. The moon is so bright, and its chorus of stars smile at me. The sea's waters massage my head and dip into my mouth. She greets me. It is a beautiful night for your final swim. They will be so happy to see you. Should I tell them you are coming? It is not too late to swim back. No, I reply. I am excited to see them. It is time. Her waves bob me up and down as if she is nodding, and she says, "Then please, join us if you are ready." I look back, panting heavily now, peering at the earth one last time, at the sky. It is so beautiful, I am almost sad to leave. The sea understands, and she waits. She eases her waves and lets me tread, my tears mingling with her body. Oh, how blessed I have been on this earth, how overripe my life. I take my last breath, and I dive under. The sea is full of technicolor beings, of fishes and leaves and mammals, and corals and creatures for which I have no name, comprised of colors I have never seen. They glow and hum the most achingly beautiful harmony, and they bear witness to my final swim. My, how new you are to both life and death, hums the sea in my ears. And the beings blow brighter at her voice. How young and small you are, yet so full of memories, passion, of life. Soon, my love, you will be full of death. But do not stress. I have yet to meet anybody who did
not prefer it that way in the end. Life is wonderful, and you have lived yours most fully. But your experiences in death will be like no other. Ahead, an incandescence unlike any surrounding globe. Oh, the creatures of the sea seem devoid of all color and life by contrast, and my heart yearns for the incandescence. My body, my soul must go there. The sea seems to sense my wish, and her tides guide me toward it. I swim, and the light grows larger until it is all there is. The sea bids me a full goodbye, and I know that I have swum most well.
O mighty Ouroboros, hear me and know that I have the resolve to embark on the next stage of our journey. Please grant me safe passage into the unknowable depths, so that life, love, and stories may be born anew once again. Here we go.
This episode of Ouroboros Out Loud was written by Logan Picunko and produced by Amin Veach. La Rosa was written by Lauren Moyle, and Swimming Finally was written by Elizabeth Wolfinger. For more episodes or to submit to the magazine, please visit ouroborosmagazine.wixsite.com/Chapman or find us on YouTube at Ouroboros Out Loud. Thank you again for listening.